Okay, good morning to all that are watching, which could be nobody. I am going to make a video journal of my journey over the next couple of months. It is New Year's Eve, 2023, and not that I normally do New Year's resolutions, but there was something that I kind of wanted to try and achieve in my life, and it coincided with this time of the year. So I'm going to attempt to basically put in place a new habit over the next couple of months. I'm aiming at 2 months. So I'm going to do this for January and February of 2024. And what I'm doing is I'm going to use a sequence of steps and habits to essentially work with my mind. I would like to be more conscious in life. I would like to be conscious. I would like to stop tuning out and going on autopilot all the time. You could say that I'm basically just going to try and be mindful. And it's something I've thought about a lot in all my thinking about self-development that I do. Essentially, all of my self-development for years and years and years now has just been trying to feel good. Like, really, I just want to, on a day-by-day basis, I want to feel happy. And it shouldn't be that hard. Well, don't know. Our minds are tricky things, but I don't know, I think I've developed habits of mind where I basically cause myself suffering because I get caught up in getting things done. That's one thing. And then even when I'm not caught up in getting things done and kind of beating myself up and trying to get things done, I kind of, I don't know, I don't hold my consciousness loosely and happily. I'm all tight normally. I'm all kind of clenched up and kind of, yeah. So anyway, this is what I'm doing, and I'm making this video diary as a bit of a commitment. So hopefully to keep me on track and honest. I don't know how often I'll do this. This is a test run today. It'll be interesting to see how the 2 months go. Here's what I'm committing to do every single day. In the morning, I'm going to set my intention. So as I have my morning cup of tea, my breakfast, normally I'm, I guess, thinking about, I normally do a little bit of mind work in the morning, but sometimes it's pretty minimal. So I'm committing to basically setting my intention in the morning. I'm trying to remember the steps now in what I'm going to do. So that involves, I'm going blank as I'm trying to think of it. I'm going to actually state the intention that I intend to be conscious throughout the day. The very first thing I'm going to do, which I've realised is important, is to not fall into the whirlpool that sucks you down into your normal thought patterns, because that's a trap. It's very easy to wake up in the morning and all the same things are around you, like you're in the same place and the same stimuli. It's very easy just to get sucked into those thought patterns that you've developed and ingrained, over so many years, basically. Oh, what do I need to do today? What's the important thing I need to do? How do I feel? Why do I feel, tired? Have I got a slight headache? Like, is there anything I have to worry about in the day coming up? So number one thing is to just realize, oh, okay, I've just woken up. I don't have to get sucked into that whirlpool and just become a prisoner to those ruts, those patterns of thought that I've developed previously. Number two, I'm going to set my actual intention. So just for myself, say, I intend today to do these things, to remain conscious. I did make a third point in there that the overall goal of what I'm trying to achieve, it's not that complex. Really, I just want patterns of thought that don't cause me to feel all tight and to suffer all the time. So it's a bit like tending a garden. Like working with your mind is a bit like tending a garden. Like you can't just go in there and click your fingers and rearrange things. You have to slowly, over time, plant the things that you want to grow and pull out the things that you don't want in your garden, and make sure you're providing the right conditions for the things that you have to grow. And then over time, the things that you want develop, and they get a life of their own, hopefully, and become stronger, and you have to do less and less work. And then the last thing that I'll do in the mornings is that I do find I don't even know why I'm telling you this, is not that important, but I do find that it is beneficial for me just to try and open my heart and my mind in the morning, because I do think I can have a habit of being insular and inward focused, and just to kind of expand my consciousness out. So I'm going to do that. That's a thing that I personally find beneficial, and it actually seems to work, seems to have an effect. Okay, so I'm going to set my intention in the morning. I am going to set 2 10-minute time periods per day, and in those 10-minute time periods, I am going to try and stay conscious the whole time. I'm going to try and stay mindful the whole time, not drift off into, basically lose my awareness. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use reminders. So every day I'm going to pick a reminder technique, which at the moment the three I've got are using a rubber band. I could put a rubber band around my wrist. I could put on a ring, or I could use a stopwatch. I've got a little portable stopwatch, and even just carrying that with me, I think I'll notice, oh God, I've got the stopwatch. I need to be conscious. And then the thing that with the stopwatch that you can do, which I've not really, developed a habit of doing, but the intention when I bought the stopwatch was, okay, I can, start the stopwatch going and just say, okay, for 5 minutes I'm going to be conscious. So I'll probably use the stopwatch for those 2 10-minute time periods. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I've got my reminders. I'm just going to do my best to be conscious throughout the day. I'm going to keep a journal, not a journal. I've got a little notepad, and I'm going to basically try and develop a habit of just writing down when I switch from one activity to another activity. So, I've basically just had my breakfast and I'm getting myself ready to start the day. First thing I'm probably going to do is shave, so maybe I'll write that down. Then I think I'm going to go and do some weeding in the garden, so I'll write that down. And then after that, if I decide to play guitar for a bit, I'll write that down. So yeah, the idea is that in a given day, you have discrete things that you're doing. You move from one activity to the next. You do something for a little while, and then you move to something else for a little while. And so those entry points into the different things that you do are a good time to jog yourself back into consciousness if you've fallen out of it in your activity. So that's the idea. And hopefully by trying to write it down, again, that will put, just that thing in the back of my mind. Oh, I need to be keeping track of the things that I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to do that. These are all well and good. at the end of the day, I'm going to check in, basically, and I'm just going to do a little evaluative process. Okay, how did I do with each of these things throughout the day? So I'm committing to doing this every single day for 2 months. I quickly Googled how long does it take to make new neural pathways, and the figures that came back were kind of over 30 days. I kind of thought 30 days if you were doing something every day. The figures more like 50 days. So I'm going to do 2 months. Again, it doesn't really matter for your benefit listening to this, but probably what happens is if you do something for 2 weeks, sure, you'll have some new little fledgling pathways in your mind. If you do it for 4 weeks, they'll get stronger. If you do it for 6 weeks, so maybe 2 months is a period where basically you've developed some habits that will stick, that won't basically just disappear after that. Okay, so that's me with my first video journal. I'll check in with you again and let you know how I'm going. Day one. Day one is tomorrow, but I'm going to try and start today. New Year's Eve. Okay, bye.